I'm not doing anything illegal, but
Yeah.
But why do you have such a good image for McDonald's, Ben?
because of the food.
Yeah.
So if you want to open your own company, you could possibly, and you should not put yourself under pressure that you're not doing shukatsu. So don't piss APU off. Just yeah.
Hello guys, welcome to another episode of APU Podcast. We are your hosts, Imaya.
And I'm Karthik. In today's episode is titled Life Outside APU, where three students from three different countries share their completely different perspectives of one little city called Beppu.
So, like Karthik said, in this episode we are going to step outside the hilltop campus of APU and head downtown where real life happens. So it's the part of university that doesn't really get printed anywhere. So we are going to navigate police encounters, getting driver's license, trying to survive a part-time job or like a Beppu, or understanding what it's like to be a foreigner in a Japanese neighborhood. So we have Khan here, who is a sharp and streetwise car enthusiast from Pakistan, whose days at car auctions and unexpected run-ins with the police offer a gritty, real-world view of Japan. Welcome to APU Podcast, Khan.
Thank you. That's an introduction.
So next we have Frankie here. He's an academically driven football fan from Myanmar, juggling the challenges of part-time work and a thesis on Japanese SMEs. Welcome to APU Podcast.
Thank you for the
Our
warm
third
welcome.
guest is Taira, a reflective Japanese student observing life from the other side as he navigates multicultural friendships and questions what it really means to be a local in an international setting.
Nice to meet you.
So guys, my first question is going to go to Khan. So as we know, in Japan, the car culture is like so famous. Like one of the first thing that got me interested in Japan is like Tokyo Drift and stuff, okay? So how was your first-hand experience of dealing with cars as you work at a car auction? Like how do Japanese people like maintain their cars, and like what kind of cars are like really popular in Japan right now?
Yeah, I think Japanese car culture, it's really good. It's world famous. We know Tokyo Drift. That's how some of the cars did get famous. They call it Wild Speed in Japan, I think. And yes, especially from the 90s, the JDM cars, they're very popular. And me personally, I'm into cars. I like them. And I think Japan is a car heaven. So you can just come here, have a nice time if you like cars. And I think Japanese people as well, they really appreciate that culture. So they look after their cars. Even if it's not an enthusiast, you can see that they keep it clean. They keep it well maintained. They don't like to push their cars, and they don't like to make it go bad. And on the other hand, there are other people who are, you could say, enthusiasts, and you can often see on the road, there's people who have modified their cars, and I think they focus too much on the outside. So they like to lower it down, put nice rims, have sometimes they have those anime characters painted on them. So it's quite interesting.
So my second question to you would be, I don't really know much about cars, but as you work in an auction house, what's the craziest buy you have ever seen, the craziest purchase?
So I actually work with a company that has a lot of work at the auction house, so I have to visit it oftentimes. The one I usually go to is in Fukuoka, and it's a good experience anyways. Everything is crazy there because you go to a place and there are thousands of cars there, so I'm sure that sounds crazy to everyone. But a lot of nice cars when you go to the auction. You can find old JDMs, you can find nice supercars, you could see a Ferrari, you could have those off-road cars. So pretty much everything is there. So I would say that there's a lot of things that you could call crazy, but sometimes I think one of the surprising elements is how one time I saw this car, which was a Porsche 911, I think, and it was pretty old. And so usually when you're bidding at the auction, it's really fast. So one car comes, 30 seconds, it's done, it's sold, and on to the next one.
Oh, wow.
But this, yeah, so it's pretty fast paced because I think in a day they're selling 7,000 cars. So this one car, so I'm sitting there waiting for the next car to come because I was going to bid on that. But this one car stays there for 15 minutes because no one is winning. People keep bidding, people keep bidding, people keep bidding, right? And I remember the car went for 3,700 man.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, you know. So I think that was really crazy, and that's one of my surprising experience because people just stood there for 15, 20 minutes watching what's happening, and then everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, that's very unique
Yeah.
experience.
So, Franco, we got to know that you have like a particular interest in football. So, how is the football culture in Beppu?
I would say in Beppu here, people just mostly play pickups. There's no, except for like APU or university football teams, there's no proper team. People just come in, play together, and just go off, which I don't like because currently I'm in like a informal kind of team together with the friends here, Indonesians, multicultural group. One thing here in APU as well is that the APU football team, I feel like it's not as diverse as they say multicultural school because they're all Japanese people here and they just recruit Japanese people. Even if you're not, like, even if you're actually good in it, they just overlook. As if you're applying for a Japanese company, they would choose a Japanese student who can speak fluent Japan and can communicate instead of foreigner who are really competent. So it's the same thing with Japanese, like, you know, actual, like the school football team here, and I think it's a very bad thing. So I think they should change it at least. That's what me and my friends are trying to do here as well, trying to recruit people who are actually good. Even if they are not like as decent in football, we try to bring them in. We try to play together because we're all football fans here, football crazy. So yeah, I think that's how the football culture here.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting. I've played only once or twice,
Oh.
but that's correct. Most of the people are Japanese, and they're
Yeah.
very competitive.
Actually.
I'm really glad I played. Let me come to our third guest, Taira. So, as in this international setting, why do you think you choose Beppu? Because it's not really glamorous as any of the big cities, like the mega cities of Tokyo, Osaka. What was the reason that brought you here?
So most reason is because I feel it's more like it's easy to make friends. I already like been staying in Chiba Prefecture and Osaka in my experience in elementary school and the junior high school, and I feel like it's quite hard to like make friends because they're so like they're quite conservative and it just took time to get close. But I heard some of my friend who's in the rural place like Beppu, and they say like it's quite easy to make friends, so that's most reason I just choose Beppu.
Seems like a cultural thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of, yeah.
So, like Frankie mentioned about like an issue they have within the football team. So, have you like ever seen your international friends getting discriminated against by the local Japanese people here?
No, real. I feel like sometimes, but really like depends on the place. I just saw once in the Twitter like that someone just discriminated, but not like oftenly.
So, Khan, like apart from like working at a car auction, like we got to know that you work like you have closely observed how like the police work, right? So like what can international students do to like create like a very healthy bond with the police here in Beppu?
I'm just trying to clarify. I don't have a lot of run-ins with the police. I'm not doing anything illegal, but yeah. But yeah, I think if you because most students use the bus and they're going from one place to another. Maybe they're they have fixed places they go to. They go to shopping to Kyomu. Maybe they come to the university. So when you're living like that, maybe you don't have a lot of encounters with the police. But let's say if you're going places, if you're driving to other cities, if you're just out and about, so you open yourself to more experiences. So I think most times it's just pretty straightforward. They ask you for your license, they ask you for your residence card, so it's not like they bother you. And I mean, I've asked them a few times, like, why, what's it meant for? And they just say that it's for security reasons. And I get that, because usually I'm out late at night, and let's say if I'm parked there, so they need to maybe make sure I am safe, and that like something illegal might not be happening. So it's mostly that. But I do feel like, I mean, I wouldn't call it discrimination as in proper racism, but I think there is a prejudice that the police might have against an international student. So, and sometimes you can see it in the things that they say. So usually it's mostly they just ask you to check your residence card and license, but they might pass a comment, one or two, that might make you think, what does he think of me, So this one time I was parked at a convenience store, and they came there, and I was helping out a friend, and so I was there. Her car battery died, and then I was helping her out, and they said, yeah, okay, and they're checking my residence card, and I just asked them, why do you need to check my residence card and my license? And they're like, no, because you're here, it's not allowed to be at the convenience store. So I am pretty sure that they wouldn't do it to a Japanese person if they're parked at the convenience store or maybe helping someone. Maybe they'd notice and they'd just leave them alone. And other things. So like he asked me whose car is this, and I said it's mine, and he's like, another BMW, not them, no. Like, so an element of surprise, I would say, So that makes you feel. But I don't think there's any racism or anything like that they would do something against you. So my advice to anyone dealing with the police is just try to cooperate, because they're there to help you. So if you see a patrol car, if you see a policeman, don't be scared. There's nothing to be anxious about. They're there to help you, and if you have any issues, you can just talk it out with them. So it's not like they're gonna arrest you or something, or try and be racist to you or give you any difficulties. So that's not the case at all.
I think I agree to that. It's a little bit of racial profiling, because I've heard from my friends that they're just riding bicycles and they just get randomly stopped and they're asked to show their residence card.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
mostly
it's not clearly discrimination.
It's mostly just
Yeah,
stop and search
yeah,
kind of
stop and
thing.
search,
Yeah.
yeah. But I only have had one experience with the police, and they helped me find my wallet, so I don't
Yeah.
like.
I mean, they're helpful. They're really
They're
helpful
helpful, yeah.
in circumstances. I've asked them for help as well, and they do actually
They're
help out.
helpful.
So that all makes up for the
Mm.
racial.
Racial profiling. So Frankie,
Yes.
so let me come to you. You're currently in your 6th semester, right?
Yes, I'm in my 6th semester.
So, when you were a freshman, what was the process of finding your first Python? Was it really hard to find one, or you got it easily? How was it?
Luckily, I got one easily, but then it was at McDonald's. So
That's a good Python.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. You just get your hands burnt every time. Yeah, right.
I worked there for a month, so
Yeah. Oh, same. I worked there for a year, so it was pretty shit. Sorry for
I
swearing.
had a dream to work in McDonald's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
I think you should wake up from that dream.
I want you to work.
Why?
Oh, just part-time.
But yeah, I would say finding part-time job in here, at least in Beppu, it wasn't that hard, because you have a lot of senpais trying to help you, like trying to shokai you to some place. But you just try to be careful when somebody is desperately trying to quit that place and want you to replace that. It's just a scam all in all. They're just trying to replace you, like the load that they are carrying. They're just trying to put it onto you, and they want to try to scam you, right? Like, oh, we're gonna have you shokai this place is good, but then they get a commission to shokai.
Oh.
For example, I don't want to say like point fingers, but yeah, Sugino Hotel and all, they give you money for bringing workers in. So yeah, just be careful of those.
Mhm. What do you think about the working culture in the the part-time job?
It's actually fun, yeah. Because you make a lot of friends. Like I have friends outside of Japanese friends outside of APU, so
Mm-hmm.
I would hang out, drink. The drinking culture here is heavy though.
Yeah.
They would go until 8 a.m. like karaoke's, drink. They would have you drunk, like, blackout drunk. If you're not drunk enough, then you're not drinking enough. So they would just pour more into you. Even if they cannot speak no more, they would just pour it into you more. So
Exactly that.
it was fun, yeah.
The work culture really depends on the kind of baito you do.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Some baitos can be really hard.
Yeah, it's quite hard,
Some
especially
easy.
hotel.
At the hotel, the bed making,
Better making, yeah, that's
the
kind
ramen restaurants, the
Yeah.
small ramen restaurants.
Yeah, that could be
They
tough.
make you work so hard.
But why do you have like such a good image for McDonald's bed?
Oh, yeah.
Because of the food.
Yeah,
the
it's
fries.
contradicting.
I just wanted to, kind of cook,
Uh-huh.
flip the burgers.
Oh.
Now he's saying I'll get burned.
Yeah, because the thing is, burgers it's flip, right? But then it's harder because there's a hot iron, like 200, 300 degrees hot iron slab waiting onto you.
And it's
like
dripping
this.
oil.
And it's dripping oil, and you have to flip under it. So you gotta be careful.
I'm good at my good.
You should give up on that.
Like, did your manager treat you differently while working at McDonald's?
I think in a way that they were just testing the waters. Like, I think I was one of the first non-Japanese workers there, so they were trying to how do we, address you, or how do we talk to you, how do we give you instructions. But then later on, they would hire more, and they got used to it, and then later on it improved us a lot.
It also depends on your Japanese speaking ability.
True.
How do you figure it out for your Japanese? Because it could be tough,
It was tough, yeah. First time working, first month, I have no Japanese language levels. I just pull out the Google Translate and I just translate it right there. But you gotta try on your part, so yeah.
Let me get to Taira.
Mhm.
So, what was your first impression of international students when you first entered APU? Because it's such a diverse environment. How did you get into that?
I think they're more friendly actually, because they also try to improve their Japanese. That's why they also want to make Japanese friends. So I was expecting I don't know. It took time to get close with the international friends, but as a reality, I think it's easy to make it. The international friends, yeah.
Much friends
Mhm.
outgoing,
What?
They more extrovert kind
Yeah, extrovert. Yeah, most.
compared to Japanese people.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
Have you learned anything surprising about other cultures?
Other culture.
Have your stereotypes being shattered, you're becoming less racist.
Nah. Probably the racist thing. Yeah, probably the racist thing. Yeah, from Americans. Yeah.
Oh.
So let me get to Khan. So how do you think about the many students write Gensuki from downtown to APU? So what's the documentation process for it? So or maybe the car also.
So, about the Gensuki, I don't really know about it because I never had one, and I never asked anyone what's the paperwork. But for the car, it's simple. But when you go to change the name for your car, it's a lot of paperwork. So you need to fill in all these details. That's kind of tough. But the people there, they're really there to help you out, and they see that you're a foreigner, and you can go ask them, and they'll probably do it for you. So it's not that tough. If you're doing it for the first time and you don't know what to do, just go to that place. They'll figure things out for you. So it's not a lot of paperwork. Some of it that comes with the car, which includes the shaken shome, and you need to have your inkan shomesho, which you need to convert the car under your name. And then there is some other documentation for the car, like the, I think, Jibasaiki and everything. And then you need some things from the previous owner, which includes the Inkan Shomen Sho, Ininjo Sho, Joto Sho. So these things, I think these are the documents that you need. But one thing I think that you actually need to know, because you'll have to do it on your own, is first you need to find a parking space close to your house. It should be within 2 kilometers. And you need to go to the Beppu police station, and you have to file the shako for your parking. So you cannot change the name of the car under your name until you have that shako. That means you are showing the car registration office that you have a parking under your name. So you have to submit it there, and you have to, I think it takes around a week for them to give you the shako. So make sure that you do it timely, so when you're trying to change the name for your car, you are not stuck or making the other person wait. But also for the K car, you don't need the shako shome. So it's fine. You can just go to the office and change the name. And one more thing, sorry, it's a little complicated, but for Futsusha, which is normal cars above 660cc, the office is different. But if you're getting a K car, the office is different to change the name. Both are in Oita, but make sure which car you have and then go to the office. So if your car is a K car, which is I think 660cc and less, then you have to go to the K car office. Yeah.
It's kind of lengthy
Yeah.
process.
It is, but just go there, they'll help you out.
It kind of makes things smooth, so like Japan works smoothly due to these kind of things.
I don't think it's smooth. They could probably make it digital or something, but they'll help you out, so that works. I think it's very different to other countries.
If it's too complicated, can we get your help?
I mean, sure. I know you, so I would help you.
Yeah, of course.
How about the insurance? How do you figure it out about the insurance? Because one time I actually helped my friends for getting the car insurance, and she got declined because she can't understand the Japanese fully. And when you got a contract about the car insurance, they said like you need to understand the details clearly. That's why she got declined. What do you think about the car insurance? Not like a shaken.
I don't have much experience with that,
Uh-huh.
but I think maybe it's a one-off experience with your friend, because usually they would offer you plans and you tell them what kind of insurance you want, what you need included and what not, and they'll probably help you out. I am not sure. I don't have much experience with insurance because in Japan it's not really necessary to have one. You need to have the third-party one, which is Jibaiseki, I think.
Yeah, Jibaiseki.
Yeah. So if you're getting one from a third party, from a company, I think if you go to their office, they'll help you, and I think you can get online quotations for how much you have to pay.
So you would like to clarify something that I think for the Gensuki license or Gensuki registration, you actually need to know a little bit of Japanese.
I think it's for the insurance, I think.
For
The insurance,
From what
I
I've
think,
heard,
yeah.
I think for the car maybe not, as you experience the car system, but for
Yeah.
maybe Gensuki, you need
Gensuki, I think so, yeah.
to- I think.
So Frankie, you work at Umetown right
Yes.
now? So like, how's it like working at Umetown? Is it fun?
It's actually fun. Like, it's a fixed hour work, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. You just close everything, and you're basically half shakaijin because you gotta wear half the dress code. You don't need the black coat from above, but everything else, necktie, the white shirt, black shoes, everything's the same. So. But then basically you're just there standing at the regi and greeting customers, trying to show them around. And my friends would come visit me. I would play with them around. Basically get paid for it. So it's fun. It's fun work. Yes.
So like, do you need a lot of Japanese to like work
I would
in
say
Umetown?
yes. When I started working, I had to learn a lot of the teinego, like the formal Japanese, because you're basically working with the customers and your superiors. So you gotta use a lot of teinego. And I got used to saying myself as not watashi, not boku, but jibun, like very very formal. And every time I even speak to like most of my friends, I would just call myself jibun, and they're like, "Are we not close?" So, yeah, it's a lot of Japanese work, but you wouldn't understand, but yeah, Japanese work.
I mean, yeah. How about the flexibility? Is it flexible?
In what way?
I mean, in when you work in a baito, like
Uh,
for example, if you have some plan to do as emergency, you can just
And
change
like
it.
cancel
Yeah.
at last moments.
I would cancel 15 minutes before most of the times. Even if I don't like, if I'm too bored or like if I'm sleeping, I would just call from my bed. I'm sick. I'm sorry. I'm not coming in. They're like, oh yeah, sure. But then you would get scolded maybe sometimes because there's not enough people working that day. But then later on they just forget. So it's work. It's fun work there.
Do you get like paid leaves? Does that
Yes.
happen? Oh, really?
Oh.
Oh.
I have 2 weeks of paid leave, like 2 weeks work right now, and I would just use 2 days per month.
Oh.
Wow.
That's actually good.
That's it.
I haven't heard anyone having paid leave.
Yes, it's a good
So,
system.
Taira, coming to you.
Okay.
According to our highly classified sources, you're quite fluent in
Sources.
English.
Okay.
And does that really help you in an environment like APU?
I mean, yeah, that's why I feel like it's easy to make international friends too. And I also have like experience that I was in Singapore for 3 years in high school. So I think that experience actually helpful in APU too, in terms of education and also make friends. So
Yeah. Does that create a barrier between you and other Japanese people who cannot speak that level of fluent English and they see you communicating with other foreigners quite smoothly? Does it you observe any kind of
I mean, yes, I mean, I actually have it in the class. The thing is, I'm in the English class right now, and yeah, I'm the one who only can speak with teacher fluently. So yeah, I feel kind of so sorry for other students, and it's kind of awkward about that environment.
Why are you taking English if you can speak?
That's
It's an easy A plus.
I mean, it's an easy A plus too, and the other reason is like I kind of fucked up at the first English test because I didn't sleep anything, and I just sleep during the English test.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
He did the hard part. He learned the language. He forgot to do the easy part.
so now if any of the foreigners speaks a very good level of Japanese,
Mm,
they're kind of treated highly in the circle. You're so good. You do my work. You can help me. You can help me get the government things.
mhm.
So it's kind of helpful for the foreigners who speak Japanese.
I mean, yeah, so that's
It goes
why
both ways,
it's
yeah.
easy to get a job, yeah.
But if you speak English as a Japanese, do you become like a high upper tier Japanese?
I mean, like, in terms of, like, work, like, actual work, I think it's easy to work at a large corporation in Japan. Because most people, they can't speak English.
Yeah.
And they feel kind of scared to work in overseas. That's why, like, it's easy to get a good salary, too.
So Frankie, again, according to our sources, we got to know that you are currently writing a thesis on decrypting HR systems of Japanese SMEs. So what's the interest with like HR systems in Japan? Like, what's your thesis about exactly?
Right now, I'm trying to look around for the most optimal HR system, which is a big stretch because I'm an undergrad, third year, zero financial support, zero sources. Even the paper that I wanted to get, I had to email the professor who lives in Dubai myself just to get the paper. So there's a lot of troubles, but then the paper, it's all about how SME, small and medium enterprises, try to tackle like how they would handle the employees, because most of them they're informal. Even in Japan, like even though they are like leaps and bounds compared to other countries, they still have a lacking HR system in all those small companies. So I want to try to implement like a flexible and more formal type of HR. And I'm from Myanmar, which is a third world, everybody knows. And I want to try to implement this type of system into that country. So I'm just trying to like just go around trial and error. So that's my goal for now. And basically just to impress all those interviewee when I try to apply the jobs. So yeah.
So
Basically.
you're planning on working here in Japan?
Yes.
Oh, so you already started shukatsu.
Oh yes, I.
How is it? How is it going?
It's shit. I haven't really done much yet, but yeah, I'm still doing.
Is it like-
It's Kang should be doing it too, right?
Oh, really?
Sixth semester.
Don't make me feel bad. I'm not doing it now.
Oh.
Maybe I'll let Frankie do it, and then he can show me the way.
You're the entrepreneur here, man.
I heard you need to give some sort of kind of test. It's like I'm forgetting the name.
GLPT test?
No,
Or
no, no.
For the shukatsu, right?
It's like the aptitude or reasoning test or
Oh,
something. I'm forgetting the name.
I always forget actually, but yeah, I understand
You
what
need
you
to
mean.
give that. It's about logical reasoning,
Oh, yeah,
mathematics.
Is it
yeah.
the Watson laser?
No, it's some Japanese test.
Me for the shukatsu, right?
Yeah, it's made for the
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it necessary
I
for
don't
like a
think
foreigner
it's
too?
mandatory.
Yeah.
But then, if you have that kind of certificate, you have a higher chance of getting hired. But then my Japanese is still like what around N3, so yeah, I'm still working on it. Not really, but yeah.
So like, Khan, we got to know that you have like a BMW, which is like a really cool car. So like, can you tell us about your car? Like, is it like easy to like generally maintain it? Like, do you recommend like people to
buying
like?
a luxury
Yeah.
car.
Mhm.
Beppu.
Thank you, first of all. I mean, you could always have a cooler car, you know. So I don't
Yeah.
think like I don't think I have a cool car, but I used to have the BMW. I don't have it anymore. I have an Audi right now.
Upgrade.
Upgrade.
I don't know.
Okay, a cooler car.
It could always be cooler.
Yeah.
But I think with Japanese cars, pretty easy to maintain. I used to go to Autobacks, which is near Kanama. So it's all you have to do is the regular oil change, air filter, oil filter, those things, which is not expensive. It can run you from 5,000 to 10,000 yen. Or if you have a car with a bigger engine, then maybe 12, 13,000 yen. And it's pretty easy to do. You just take your car there. Even if you don't know what you need to put in your car, they'll tell you what you need to put in your car, and you just pay them and they'll do it for you, and it's ready to go. Apart from the regular maintenance, you have to change the tires, which I think is very important in Japan. Because, so for example, in my country, the roads are just straight and flat, not many curves. But in Japan, you're on Yamamichi, I think we call it. It's mountain roads, right? So, and it rains a lot as well, and it snows. So make sure that your tires are always up to a good mark, good condition. So if you drive, I think you should change them every 40,000 kilometers. But also depends on how you drive, so you might need to change it earlier or later. But if you see cracks or anything like that, you should change them. Also, don't hit your car. Don't damage your car. If you do it, you'll probably have to pay more than your car is actually worth, because Japan is very expensive for repair and parts, which can run you a lot of money. That's what happened to me. My first car, I got an ABS malfunction, so I just sold the car. So these things happen, but rarely. So if I think go for a Japanese car, they're not gonna run you down a lot of money. So also the maintenance for German cars, I wouldn't recommend you go to Autobacks. I think you should go. I think you should go to the dealership. So if you have a BMW, I think there is BMW in Oita. I think there's two. There's Audi in Oita, Benz in Oita. So if you have a German car or some other car that's not Japanese, go to them, because I don't think Autobacks would know how to like tighten your oil filter or something. They might tighten it up more or less. So, and the maintenance is going to be expensive. And if something goes wrong with your car, if you get a malfunction, if you get a check lamp, then you need to get ready to empty your pockets. Yeah.
Would you like to give any tips while buying a second-hand car? Because most people I know, they get second-hand cars in Beppu because it's kind of cheap to get a second-hand car.
So Japanese people would buy a car if the mileage is under 100,000 kilometers, right? But a lot of students would buy cars that are above 100,000, because it's cheaper, obviously. Uh, but what happens is, and then they buy the car, and then they expect it to run like a new car. But you can't really, hope for the best of both worlds. So I think it's an investment, and you should be smart with your investment. Get a car that's in your budget, and get a car that's within a good mileage. So I think if it's a Japanese car, you are fine until maybe 150,000 kilometers. But as you're gonna drive it as well, I would suggest maybe get something. The maximum should be 110, 120,000 kilometers, so you can use it for a couple of years. But the best policy is obviously lower the mileage, the better the car. Make sure you get it from someone you trust. Don't just go off somewhere and just buy a car. You could get it from a friend, a car that you've seen before, you know the history about. And even if the mileage is high and the car is well maintained, you can go for it. I mean, if one of your friends used it and you know that they used it with respect and treated it nice. So yeah. But German cars, you have to go really low with the mileage. So try to aim 50,000, 60,000. Don't get a car that's done 100,000 kilometers. Yeah, because they tend to not be as reliable as Japanese cars. And if they break down, you won't find really good mechanics, and you have to take it to the dealership and they'll charge you a lot of money. So it's better to spend money in the start than spend money later.
So Frankie, as someone who's like very invested in your like academics, do you honestly think that APU have like helped you like this far? Like, do you feel like you could like rely on them?
Topic is hot. Honestly, I feel like it's not really helpful. Not at all. Because I would do researches online. I would go up to those research sites. They would say log in with your institute. I do it with APU. Do I get access to those papers? No, because I feel like they didn't buy. And also those papers, the more recent the paper is, the harder that the harder it gets for you to try to like look into those. Even that paper that I tried to get from the professor, I tried to search it in the APU database. They don't have it. I have to try. If I want it, I have to borrow it. So like that explains all the logistics and all those like money and expenses that APU would do. Like the amount that they will use on the academic research. But you see all those new buildings being built, but no new papers getting into the database. So that explains everything, right? Yeah, it's actually very useless. Sorry.
I also think that APU needs to have access to more maybe websites that are and stuff you can access at your home, because you can't really expect people to sit in the library and do all their research. So I think they really need to work on their game in the research sector.
Yes.
They need to help students study at home and make sure that they read more research papers, because I think that's where you build yourself, right? But, so,
How about the Japanese? I think is it good for the APU Japanese?
Faculty.
like Japanese language faculty?
I mean language faculty.
My experiences have been great. I owe everything to my Japanese sensei, who dealt with my bullshit. Yeah. And I love all my Japanese senseis, especially my intermediate sensei, which was Shibuya sensei. I think she left APU. And then Tada sensei, so great. She's strict, but she is one of the best teachers you get for Japanese. And Inoue sensei, I think. Yeah, so all of my senseis, I love them. Yeah,
Japanese senseis are the best. It's
I
just
think
that's the English faculty. English faculty.
Can second that, because if you start from foundation 1 or 2, the Japanese senses are kind of helpful. They'll go slow on you. They'll talk in English with you. They'll be more animated,
Yeah.
but they're actually good in helping you.
and I think they're emotionally supportive. They actually understand that we need to consider the students' circumstances and then help them out. When I think that in other classes, because there's a lot of students, so maybe the professor cannot be on your emotional level and try to help you out. So for everyone in foundation or trying to learn Japanese, just trust your senseis. And if you feel like you're left behind, don't lose hope and drop the whole learning process. Go talk to them, explain your situation, and they're gonna help pick you up. Because that's what happened with me. So always trust in your Japanese sensei. That's the
That's good. Foundations are the best place to make friends, and like I think the professors really help you to get close between each other, and like the professor themselves they try to get close to you, so on a deeper level, they would bond with you.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. How about you? How's the English faculty?
I think it's same. Like English teachers, they're actually try to make close. They give them so many group work. I mean, I think it's quite useful for other Japanese students. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're very invested in us, because I can remember in my foundation 1 and 2 exchange class, it was during Halloween and Christmas, so all the senseis were dressed as ghosts, and we had Grudge playing on the screen, and they had brought sweets for us, and it was all decorated, and he used to hide behind the door and stab students with toy knife, and I was wow, I love this.
I think they're so cute.
Yeah.
The only classes I missed when they ended, once I was over those classes, I missed were Japanese classes. So.
Yes.
I mean, it was really hard though. It was I think for us, we used to have foundation 1 to 3 together, right?
yes.
Now I think it's separate.
It's 1 and 2
Yeah,
now and then.
So we really wanted to kill ourselves. And all we thought about in bed probably was Japanese.
I think you can tell how stressed we were by the frequency of how much we smoked back then as well. Because we had the same schedule, we had the same floors and all. Whenever we would go out, we would meet each other, even though we're in separate classes. It's every 30 minutes we would just go out, 10 minutes break, smoke, we talk, we bond with each other. And then just come back, and it would go on for 5-6 times a day.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 classes, you get breaks for 2 times, but you go out smoking for 3-4 times. So it's a different thing.
And my speaking of smoking, my sensei, which was Tada sensei, my foundation 3 sensei, she was really nice. I think one of my favorite women in the world. I mean, as a sensei. So
Clara.
just clarifying. So I would go late after the break, or maybe when we finish foundation 2. So the next period would be foundation 3, right? And I would be probably the only one late. And then she realized that I go to smoke, and then whenever she's taking attendance, she's like, "Kan-san, tabakka suttiru." Tabakka suttiru. So she realized, and she would be like, "Okay, it's okay, you can be a couple minutes late." So, I mean, she would tell me be on time, try to be on time, but it's a really good environment, Japanese classes.
Yes.
Coming to Taira, as you grew up in Japan, you see how the Japanese work culture is. I mean, not really professional one, but how you've seen the elders doing it. So, what's advice for the international students who want to live in Japan and work here? From a Japanese perspective, how to get into the Japanese society?
Damn, that's kind of hard to. That's actually a good question. I think when I just compare Japanese people and other international people, I think Japanese people, they tend to read the mind, but international people, they more say the statement, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a big difference. So you should try to belong some Japanese community and try to understand how to read the mind from them. I think that could be a most important thing if you want to live in Japan and make some enjoyable life there.
The becoming a psychic.
What icks do foreigner people give you?
What?
What
Like-
makes,
What do you mean?
what things you don't like that foreign people do in Japan?
Mm, I think like if they try to ask some questions in English, I feel like they kind of scared first of all. So you should just show some translator and just show them. That could be more easy to communicate it, because they're. I mean, as you know, they're not good at English, right? But if you have a translator, they can understand and they can just teach you using that translator easily. So I think translator could be important.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's true.
Do you see your international friends following all the Japanese rules?
I mean, some of our yeah. They're just saying like it's too strict, especially like the transportation's rule, because they usually should be quiet,
Yeah,
no
they should
sound.
really
So
quiet.
some of our they don't like that rule because they want to talk a lot in there.
That's true.
I think we could give a final question to Khan, right?
Yeah.
So, any tips for freshmen looking to make an impact in Beppu? I feel like if
I
you all
mean-
have anything to add, you can add it.
I
to it,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've made a big impact, but maybe I could, just yap and give good advice, And I think Frankie will agree with me because he's my batchmate. So I think first of all, it's about what you need to do. So you should always be sure about what your goals are and what you need to achieve during university and once you graduate. So you can't really relate to someone who. So if you want to open your own company, you could possibly, and you should not put yourself under pressure that you're not doing shukatsu because you're not gonna get a job, right? So maybe you need to do only those internships that would help you with your business, and maybe you need to focus on those skills. And so on the contrary, if you want to do a job, you should focus on those things. So it's all about what you need to do. You need to have easy goals for yourself, because as he mentioned before, that a lot of international people think that Japan is hectic, and I agree, it can be hectic sometimes. But if you plan on living here, you have to help yourself make your life more comfortable, right? So in order to do that, set easy targets for yourself, and don't look at people and think that you're being left behind. Don't compare yourself. Just try to be sure of what you want to do, and then do everything that's possible to get that particular thing. But yeah, do follow the laws. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive. Okay, you shouldn't do that. Okay. Don't do things that APU would probably suspend you for or remove your scholarship.
If you spend a harsh on
They are.
Oh yeah.
That's my
Especially the
biggest
car
advice,
parking.
because I think sometimes students can act really dumb, and maybe in the moment they do things that are gonna have impact on their life for for a long time. So don't piss APU off. Just do. That's the bare minimum, I think. You can try and not to get drunk and drive, or park in weird places, and or do something that's probably going to get you suspended. That's my biggest advice. If you are through these 4 years of APU, this opportunity is going to bring more opportunities for you. Just hang in there. Just don't do something dumb. And I think that's like how smart you need to be to make an impact.
It's a pretty easy ride if you're smart.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy. Just for me, smart is just not being dumb.
Yeah.
The problem here is that there's a lot of people who cannot act smart.
Yeah.
Because I've seen most students would go on to do something really nice, right? Some of them are doing masters, they have nice jobs, maybe they're doing nice businesses, but the prerequisite is that you graduate university, right? So the only thing you need to do is just keep doing whatever they're telling you to do. Or talk with your friends, connect, network, talk with local Japanese people. That's like a one step ahead advice maybe. Network, be close to your Japanese friends. They'll show you around Japan. They'll show you the tips and tricks. So I think that's the most you need to do. Just network, know people, enjoy your time. Don't be dumb.
So I guess then it's a wrap, right? We got to talk about a lot of interesting topics. And I hope this episode gave our audience a glimpse into like many ways of living, thinking, and navigating life in Beppu, like through three very different worlds. Yeah. Because like even in one city, like there isn't just like one story, right? Like this is what APU perhaps does not tell you about what it's like here. So thanks for listening, and thank you guys for joining.
Thank you for
Thank you very much.
So until next time, and stay tuned. Bye.
All right.
Are you? I am. Partially.